Welcome back to StarrSoap's channel. How are you today? I'm doing good. Today I'm going to be making black raspberry vanilla soap. That's right. I've made this a few times before. If it rings some bells, and you've probably seen many different versions that I've pumped out over the years of this fragrance. Today I'm going to be trying to stick to my original design, the design that I promised myself I would try to make every single time. And of course sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use the fragrance in different designs simply because I know that it acts well and I can trust it not to screw things up. Did I say that? So in this case, I'm going to be doing my original design that actually has the fruit pulp in the bottom and the colour in the top. And I'm using a mixture of cranberries and kiwi fruit as my fruit pulp. And I really do think it helps to anchor the bright top notes of black raspberry vanilla. And it's a beautiful complement to it. So without further ado, come along with me and I'll show you how to make it. Squeak! Okay. So the first thing to do is to make sure that our goat's milk and base oils are well and truly incorporated before we go ahead and add our cooled lye water. And I'm straining my lye water so that none of those bits of undissolved silk go into my soap. I only want the dissolved silk in there to add a lovely silky smooth lather to my final soap. I'm going to make sure that I get it very well strained so that I get every last bit of lye in there, because we want to make sure the soap is properly made. It has to be just right. You cannot screw up the measurements when it comes to making soap. You have to have the exact right amount of oil and lye. If you have too much lye, then your final soap will be caustic, which means it will burn or hurt or irritate, and we do not want to do that to people. And if you don't add enough lye, then your soap will not harden and you'll be left with a sticky mess. So that's no good. So we've got to get those measurements right. There must have been a higher sugar level in my goat's milk, or I must have used more of it, because it really does seem to have discoloured the base oils, which I find very interesting. Doesn't matter though, because my fragrance oil also discolours. Oh well. So I'm going ahead now and adding my fragrance oil. It is that delicious black raspberry vanilla. I love this fragrance. It is so popular and it smells great in both soap, bath bombs and lotions and everything. It's one of those really versatile scents, and a lot of people seem to really like it. So it's a really popular scent too. I'm going to be colouring my soap with Purple Berries Mica from micamama.com, and I'm also going to be using some fruit pulp that's going to be left uncoloured, but you will see all the little flecks of berries and of kiwi fruit that I have all blitzed together. I also have a jug with some black mica that I've mixed into some olive oil, and I'm going to be using them as my accent colours. And I'm going to basically be splitting my design in half. Half with the pretty swirly colours and half with the more natural looking soap that contains the fruit pulp. I didn't used to use the fruit pulp in this way, but I really like it. It adds a mild exfoliation to the final soap bar, and it really seems to help to anchor the scent, which is just a fancy way of saying that it helps it smell good for longer, and that's always a good thing. So I'm mixing that black mica just with a spoon here into my base soap, oils and mixture, making sure that nothing is thickening up too quick, which it's not. If anything, this black raspberry vanilla fragrance oil is slowing down trace. And I do think that might have something to do with it being this new batch of black raspberry vanilla that I have. So my old black raspberry vanilla used to make the soap thicken a little bit, and I had to rush and make sure everything was happening quickly. But this one slowed everything right down, kept it really runny and watery for a very, very long time. And that caused me a few hiccups later on. Stay tuned to see what I mean. Here is the jug with all of the berry and fruit pulp. We have cranberry as well as kiwi fruit pulp in there. And I'm just adding quite a bit of the base, and I'm going to mix it all together with my spatula. And then I can come through and add a little bit more, and I just want to make sure that that fruit pulp and those micas are all very well incorporated into the soap base. We don't want to have little clumps of colorant or little bits of unmixed soap. We want it all to be really, really well mixed together. So yes, I will start by mixing it with the spatulas, and then I'll go back through and mix it with the stick blender just to make sure that everything is really, really emulsified in. And I'm not that happy with that purple colour, so I'm going to come back through and add a bit more purple mica in there as well, just to really make it pop. I'm going to start off by pouring the soap with the fruit pulp in. I really love all the little flecks of fruit all through there. I think they look really neat. I'm just making sure that this all goes in as the base, and that way the colours will hopefully stay at the top. But I did realise that my soap was far too thin to carry on, so I went away, and that's why you can see the jump cut there, for probably about an hour. And all of my colours stayed really fluid, as you can see, like watery fluid. So I thought that was very interesting. Luckily for me, the fruit pulp did thicken up the base soap, so I did manage to get it separate like I wanted, with the colours on top and the fruit pulp soap on the bottom. But all of these colours are just so runny, and it's kind of annoying in some ways. It does make for a beautifully delicate and intricate swirl, so I'm grateful for that. I come through with my hanger tool and give it a really good swirl. And I don't want to lose any of that lovely soap that's on the hanger tool there, so I'm going to get my spatula and try to scrape as much of it off and keep every last bit of that lovely soap. Then I've left it sitting for another 20 minutes or so, and as you can see when I moved it into frame there, it is still very thin and very watery. But I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to go ahead and line up the colours along the top so I can give it a really pretty swirly decorative finish. I do love making black raspberry vanilla soap because I always know that it's going to sell. I never worry about having bars of it left sitting around next year. It's always going to sell. People really love it. So that's really neat. And this one ends up looking quite gothic on the top. I'm very, very grateful for that white line. And now I'm going to go ahead and give it a mantra swirl. But it's going to be a little bit different to some of the other mantra swirls I've done because I'm keeping those lines very tight instead of doing big wide gaps in between each swirl, and my thin soap is really allowing me to do that. It looks so cool. I just love that detail, and I mean it was really difficult for me not to keep going and go back and forth and swirl it more and more and more. But as you'll see, it doesn't particularly matter because I'm going to go ahead and do something different on the top anyway. I just love doing this. I cannot help myself. Even if I know I'm going to cover it up, I still want to do it. So there you go. So here we are an hour later and I'm ready to put my toppers on. Oh, no I'm not. So here we are about 3 more hours later and I've spritzed the top of my soap very generously with rubbing alcohol. I've also put drips of pink mica that has been mixed into olive oil all over the top. And now I'm putting these toppers on. As you can see, I'm having to be very, very careful. They still want to sink through into the soap underneath. So that's incredible. That's one thing I'm going to have to make a note of in my soap notes, that this particular fragrance really does slow everything down, and these projects need to be started earlier in the day, very early in the morning. Otherwise I end up staying up till jolly midnight trying to get my soap finished when I have to get up early the next day and get the kids ready for school. So that's not ideal. Here we are later on in the morning the next day after I've said goodbye to the kids and they've headed off to school. And I'm ready to cut the black raspberry vanilla soap. It is a little bit sticky still, as you can see, but I need to hurry up and cut it. I don't want it to get too hard. I tried to trim down all of my toppers because I find that they can be very annoying when I'm trying to cut the soap like this, and they're very solid and the rest of the soap is not. So I've tried to trim them down so that they would just fit perfectly on the top of each bar. Oh wow, look at that swirl. So yeah, thank you for being so fluid, beautiful soap, because that is why I got such an amazing and intricate swirl. There are pros and cons, always people, pros and cons. So we have another swirl here. Gosh, that's amazing. What do you see? Do you know, it actually sort of reminds me of that smoke monster that lived in the tree on Fern Gully. Shout outs to my 80s kids. Oh, I really love how these turned out. That fruity, pulpy section along the bottom is really nice, and it does provide a good contrast against all that swirly, colourful thing going on the top. These soaps lather up like a dream. I guess the fruit pulp probably affects that as well, the sugars that are in there. But it's so good and extra bubbly, and I've actually been shaving with it and I love it. I love that smell as well, and I find that the smell does stay with me a little bit throughout the day, so that's really nice. Oh my goodness, I just love how these turned out. I think they just look super groovy. I hope that you guys really enjoyed watching me make this soap as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you also make black raspberry vanilla soap, or if you just make any soap you want to share, please do come over and join our Facebook group. We call ourselves the StarrSoaps Family. So just search StarrSoaps Family on Facebook and you'll find us and join up with us, and we all kind of support each other and we share lots of photographs of our creations, inspiring each other to keep on going. It's really cool. So yeah, please do come over and join us. We'd love to have you. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, please hit the subscribe button and become a member of our StarrSoaps family here on YouTube as well. I'm really hoping to hit 7,000 subscribers by 2020. And you could help make that dream come true, if you want to. Let's see how the second loaf turned out. Are you excited? I know I am. Oh, wow. That looks so cool. It's like a work of art. It's so intricate. All the different colours swirling together. Amazing. What about this one? Ooh, the pretty toppers. Oh, wow. Gosh, that looks like a face almost, doesn't it? Like maybe a animal's face. Do leave me a comment below and let me know what you see in my soap swirls. I love playing that game. Oh, I'm really amazed, and I really love how those swirls came out. They are really fine, but not too fine. You can still see all of the intricate lines and the details. Oh, that one's my favourite. Hands down, that one's my favourite. That's freaky. I love it. It's like an elephant almost. Here we have some pictures of the soapy soap. I took some of that beautiful swirl I did before I did all the toppers, and then I took a whole bunch after I finally was able to put those toppers on. Gosh, you really do have to be patient to be a soap maker. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed watching me make this soap. And I really do hope that you tune in every week and find out what the next soap's going to be, because I promise you I'm going to be much better at doing my weekly uploads. There have been a few hiccups in my giddy up, but I'm going to fix all of that, and I'm going to be here for you guys, because I've been told, apparently a little birdie has told me that you guys love me and you love my videos and you want me to stick around. So I hear you guys, and I love you too. Alright, well, thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to tune in again next week and feel the soapy love. Bye guys!